destroyed. Your regular host, Steve Lance, sat down with Congressman Buddy Carter in Florida today to hear his thoughts about this.
Congressman Buddy Carter, thank you for joining us on the Capitol Report again.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Congressman, I want to get your thoughts. The United States has just formally accused Russia of war crimes in Ukraine for what's taking place there. I want to get your reaction to that.
Well, it's totally expected. I mean, we've seen it. This is a war that's being fought on social media. It's being fought in real time. We see it on TV. We see what happens. You've seen the bombing of a hospital, even when the Ukrainians had put in Russian children. And to clarify that they were there, and yet the Russians paid no attention whatsoever to what was going on here. So we've witnessed it firsthand. We've seen these war crimes, and yeah, it's high time we've done this, and past time that we did it.
Now, what is your response to the U.S.'s response to what's happened in Ukraine thus far? And do you believe the Biden administration has sent a strong enough message to the Kremlin?
Well, certainly we're hitting them where it hurts right now, and that is in oil and gas. Let's face it, Russia is nothing more than a gas station masquerading as a country. I think it took too long for the Biden administration to impose sanctions on Russian oil. However, it's never too late to do the right thing, so they have done the right thing, and this is what's going to get their attention, and this is what's going to hurt them. Now, I would call on other countries, such as India, that are still buying Russian oil, that they need to do the same thing that we've done, and that is stop buying Russian oil. We'll have to make sure that we are protecting the people of Ukraine in any way that we can, and certainly with economic sanctions like this, that helps them.
Now, speaking of oil, you've introduced a bill that's garnering some national attention right now with regard to the Keystone XL pipeline. Can you tell us exactly what's going on?
Ending dependency on Russian energy. And what it does is to simply start the Keystone pipeline back. And we need to start it back. Let's face it, the Biden administration has had a war on energy independence, a war on fossil fuels since day one. The first thing he did was to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline. What this bill will do is to start the Keystone XL pipeline. We also need to open up drilling on federal lands. We need to end all of this bureaucracy and that is surrounding the permitting and leasing of these lands. That is extremely important. We need to unleash the natural resources that we have here in America.
And why do you think even before President Biden took office, the Democrats were so against this?
Well, I think it's their way of addressing climate change. And certainly we want to address climate change as well. However, we have to do it in a way where we're using an all-of-the-above type energy strategy. We are not to the point now where we can do away with fossil fuels, and we're not going to be at that point in the very near future. We have to make sure that we're utilizing fossil fuels to the full extent that we can. Otherwise, we're going to hurt our economy. It's going to hurt the people who can afford it the least, the middle class, the working class.
And on that note, right now we're seeing the potential issues with the food supply. Fertilizer is starting to become. What are you hearing from your constituents just on the energy front in general?
Absolutely, we have been getting phone calls. We've been getting texts. I represent South Georgia, a lot of rural area, a lot of forestry. I had a logger call me. He owns a logging company. He said, "Look, I can't afford these petroleum prices. They're going to put me out of business. I'm just simply not going to be able to do it." Had a farmer call me the other day. "I cannot afford fertilizer. Therefore, I'm not going to be able to plant a crop this year." Had a single mom send me a text. She said, "I cannot afford to go to work, but I can't afford not to go to work. What am I going to do?"
Congressman Buddy Carter, thank you.
Thank you.